Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday, October 17th, 2014. My name is Talutha, the wonderful game master of these fine people you see on the screen. And like we start out every week, let's go ahead and just introduce ourselves, starting with Mr. Eve. I think we go in the same order every week. I'm not sure.
I think so. It's becoming like habitual, which is awesome. I am Eve Ware, and I will be playing, what's my character's name? Nearest, who is a clever nano who wields power with precision. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? I think I'm clever.
I have no idea.
Yes, I am clever. I
You're
got it
not
right.
very clever if you don't know.
It's not me. It's my character who's clever. I just have to pretend or try to be.
Of course. Okay. Mr. Shub?
Hello, everyone. I'm Shub, at Shub on Twitter, and Tashub on Twitch TV. And I am playing Tuck, who is a tongue-tied glaive who fuses flesh and steel.
Awesome. And Miss Soul?
Hi, I'm Salanthia. I play Skylar, who is an intelligent jack that explores dark places.
And Mr. Yuki?
I'm Michael Shirayuki, and I am playing Shiro, the stealthy jack who wears a sheen of ice.
Awesome. I'm glad almost everyone knew their characters.
Who didn't know their character?
I don't know. Did anyone do anything interesting this week? Eve, did you do anything interesting besides not thinking about how clever you are?
No, I'm going to say no, because then we can just skip right by it and move on. Yes.
Okay, Shub, did you do anything interesting?
Not much. The party in my D&D, D&D 5e campaign, they slaughtered a green dragon.
I saw it. It was so cool.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
was
cool.
really. I thought they were gonna die.
I did too, actually. I was hoping so.
You were
No,
hoping
I'm
so.
kidding. No, not really. No, actually,
like-
they did a really good job. I mean, they really worked together, and I was trying to get the dragon out of there to escape to fight another day, but they just kept bringing him back in, and I couldn't get him out.
Someone died, didn't they? You lost one person.
No, well, I had a couple of them actually fall unconscious, but they were able to revive them and stabilize them. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if any of you die today. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Unlike you, I hope that my players survive through the encounters. Remember, the game master is on your side. Soul, did you do anything interesting? Miss any good packages or anything?
Yeah, something about a package not being able to be delivered, and then the guy forgot to try again, so, yeah.
It's too bad. Oh well, you'll have it
Yeah.
tomorrow, and then maybe we'll be able to play Mario Kart on Sunday. Finally, after all these, I don't even know how
Yay!
long.
Long enough.
Long enough. Yuki, did you do anything exciting?
I went to a haunted house.
How'd that go? You don't sound too excited about going to a haunted house.
You beat me to it. I'm going on Sunday.
It was good. I wasn't exactly scared or anything. Jump scares got me, but that's pretty much it.
Are you trying to be brave in front of us, or were you really just not scared?
No, I really wasn't scared.
Okay.
I totally will be.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I have to go to one of the ones that send you in one at a time.
That sounds really long and boring. It's supposed to be like a group activity.
There are some really horrifying ones out there.
Okay. Well, you just played your first game of Pathfinder this week too. How'd you like that?
I almost died.
You did. I was surprised about that. How'd you almost die? I was actually wondering about that. I just like brought it back up on my screen, and you're laying on the ground bleeding out, and I'm like, how did he? I never even managed to do that.
I only have like 6 health. So one of them hit me for 4, and then another one hit me. And I just went down.
Sounds like unlike Shub's group, your group doesn't work together.
Someone was supposed to be protecting me.
I'm pointing at the other group. Well, hopefully that goes well. Did you enjoy it though? Pathfinder's pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
lots and lots of rules. My head, I don't know how Mello does it, but my head would just get lost. I look at other adventure packs. I've never GM'd like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or anything, but I look at like adventure packs to get ideas and stuff, and it always brings up like a stat block for the enemies and things, and it looks like a whole jargon of mess. I don't know how people get through that stuff, but apparently Shub does it, so it can't be that hard.
Well, 5e, I mean, it's really actually it's a lot easier than Pathfinder, so it's about as good as I can do. And Numenera.
Numenera is easy. I don't have to do anything. I just say, that's one of the things I really like about it. I just say it's a level 4 enemy, and that's really all I need. That gets me everything. But we'll see. We'll see how you guys do today. We'll see if we get in any scuffles or anything like that. You guys were in a lot of combat last time. And you're probably going to get in quite a bit of combat this time as well, maybe, just depending on how things go. You're not really in a position to where we could like do something really political yet and stuff like that. Your Tuck's really driving to get to Thamor and stuff like that. So we'll see if you guys take any of the things I have along the way. If you don't, that's no problem, and we'll see how things go. So, are you guys ready to get started?
We are ready.
Awesome. So last time you were here, you guys started your journey off in a... Let me bring the map up here on the monitor. Off in Ansuin. You were running from the Glavis military or army or whatever they have there. And you were basically going up through Iskabal. Y'all are trying to get back to Thamor to report to King Holva that, Tuck's job is done. He can be rewarded and be granted knightship or his own kingdom or something. Maybe control of the entire Beyond. I'm sure all that goes through his head, something that he wants. And you guys had quite a journey. You went through a village called Tacit where no one really speaks. You woke up in a forest filled with red crystals that had some pretty serene sounding music. Whenever you would kind of touch them, they would ping and have all sorts of cool stuff happening. And you actually made it to a place called Catharin. And in Catharin, you met a person named Faraster. This just magical being that kind of appeared in front of you. His name's Faraster. Eve looks confused. The wizard or whatever, his name is Faraster. And he's all of you are really interested in this crystal of Catharin, this bright purple-looking crystal in the middle of this valley. And a lot of you really wanted to check it out, but he wouldn't let you by. He said you needed to bring him an artifact in order to gain access to it. And you went hunting for that artifact, obviously. And when you got to this lake, this silvery mirror-looking lake, Shiro fell in, and he actually jumped in. And when he jumped
after Tuck scared him, of course. Tuck scared the crap out of him, and then he jumped in.
After Tuck scared him, he jumped in and noticed the water just kind of escaped from him. It just kind of moved out of the way, and he landed right at the bottom of the lake. Brought everyone along with him. They went through this door, this really cool looking door that you could see from one end, but when you would go to the other side, it wasn't there. It was kind of like a two-dimensional door or object of some kind. And that's kind of where we've left off. You've went through this door. You were originally in this room with like metal walls. It was kind of silvery. Lights paneled along the top of the room that were lit. Everything's well lit. You walked out of this room into the next room, and that's actually where we left off, exactly where the four of you are right now. And the four of you are in this kind of dome-looking structure, if you don't remember, and you could see the stars very easily in the sky. It looks like it's night. The landscape outside the dome appears to be some type of pale blue rock. And from what you remember, there's a door behind you that you just came out of. There's a door to the north of you, to the left of where you came out. There's a door kind of to the east, and they kind of lead, you can tell, to other domes. You can see there's a dome also in front of the one you're in, but you can't see really an access point to it. You see kind of tunnels and stuff that are leading to it. And from there you kind of gauge how you can access this other dome. But you can see there's pretty much multiple domes around this landscape, and you're basically just sitting in one of them right now. And that's where we left.
Yeah, I think when we left off, Tuck was still outside, making sure that the door didn't close or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and go on in and follow the rest of the group in.
As soon as Tuck goes in, the door collapses and all of you die.
Wow, good game. So,
all right, everybody roll your characters.
Hi, guys.
New characters.
All right.
Session in the Strange.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you guys, well, Tuck goes in. You see the same thing. You're in that kind of silver-looking room. The door is actually closed to your right there as you come out the door. The portal-looking thing. And the three of you, I believe, are in the next room. It would be.
So I'm in that room by myself?
For now.
So the door between us and Tuck is closed? For Tuck, that is?
Yes, but
is that what you're trying to say?
You're overthinking it. You went through the door and it closed behind you.
Okay.
You died, remember?
I can see he's like, oh, this is interesting. How did this happen? I'm like, no, it just closed. There's nothing nefarious going on here yet.
That would have been a perfect GM intrusion point, Tal. So Tuck is just kind of looking around. There's only that one door where he is, right? So he's just kind of looking around. Hello? Hello?
Do we hear him?
No, you wouldn't hear him. The door's pretty solid. What are the three of you doing in that other room while Tuck's kind of just looking around saying hello?
Staring at the sky.
Not touching a wall.
Are the stars similar to our stars, like what we normally see outside, or are they different?
How much would your character know? Would you have ever studied the stars? To notice the stars are different in the sky, you would have had to study that. Otherwise, I look in the sky and I can't tell where the heck any constellations are. So if you never study the stars, the way people do that is they find the constellations in the sky, and because you can't look at a star and be like, oh, that one's in a weird place. So unless your characters would have studied constellations at any time, you wouldn't notice anything different from the sky.
I mean, are they blatantly a different color?
No, they're all white.
Oh, okay. I'll continue walking around.
Okay, but my character will gaze up at the stars because they're pretty.
Okay, so you're gazing up at stars. Shiro is walking around this wonderful looking dome. And what is Skylar doing?
I'm just looking around while making sure I can see everybody.
Okay. Well, all of you are just looking around. There's nothing really interesting in this dome. It's got kind of a flat floor. Nothing really sticks out to you other than the kind of open walkways that are leading to the other domes.
How many other walkways are there?
There's two, and then one entrance where y'all came from.
I was really just delaying to see if Tuck walked through the door. But since he doesn't seem to be
Hello,
making his way there.
Guys!
Exactly.
Hello!
Let's take the corridor to the whatever my character's right is. So just randomly pick one, and I'll start walking in that direction.
Okay. Yep, it makes kind of a Y. The door you came out of the dome, and then two kind of corridors. So if you go down the one on the right, the corridors are actually not transparent. They're kind of made of that same metal. They have the lighting paneling along the top as well. And when you walk through the tunnel, you make it all the way through, and you come to another door, another kind of dome that's also transparent, and you can see. This room appears to have tables and chairs. There's some kind of machines that sit on the far end of this room. But other than that, you can see there's another tunnel off to your right, and there's another tunnel to your left that kind of leads to another dome. And when you walk in here, a little flying circular thing kind of zooms through the air and sits in front of, since I assume Nearest is leading the pack, kind of sits in front of your face for a second, then kind of hovers a little bit out of reach. And what you notice is wherever you walk around, it just seems to follow you.
Can I touch it?
You can try to maybe jump up and touch it, but it's flying pretty high above you. These domes are fairly large. They're not tiny little bubbles.
Okay, so it's a distance away. Are there windows in this room? Or this dome?
The entire dome is transparent.
Okay. What? Do we still see blue rocks outside?
Yep, the outside looks exactly the same.
Okay. I want to go take a look at those machines on the far side of the room.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, you can't really make heads or tails of it. You see a few buttons. There's some kind of like icons you don't recognize. There's some writing you don't recognize and stuff. I don't know if he's saying if he's pushing the button or not. Are you pushing the button? Okay.
I want to first, before I push the button, I want to take a closer examination, see if I can try and assess what these things are for.
You kind of look at it and you can't really see anywhere to take it apart. It seems to be there seems to be like screws. You recognize the screws, but they use one of those fancy little screw drivers that you would never have seen. Maybe an Allen wrench of some weird configuration or something. Curse at yourself because you left your Allen wrench set at home or something like that. But you can't really figure out what it is. You've definitely never seen anything like it.
I'm going to start very slowly bringing my finger closer and closer to the button in preparation to push it, giving just enough time for anybody else to either interrupt me or to say go for it.
I'll notice what he's doing and just slowly walk out of the dome back into the first dome.
Back in the first dome? Okay.
Wondering where Tuck is.
Okay. Well, if that's all Shiro's going to do, Skylar, do you do anything to interrupt him, or are you just watching him as he's doing this?
I'll pull out my crossbow just in case there's something on the other side of the door.
Yeah, I imagine at this point Nearest is looking at the button and just looking at Skylar.
Push it.
Just do it.
As he pushes the button down, the machine kind of starts to smoke up a little bit, and it makes some popping and ping noises, and a nice, pretty sounding voice says something in a language that you don't understand, and a little brown cube just kind of spits down on a circular dish of some kind, and then it just goes bing.
It makes a beautiful sound. Pity you missed that. I want to examine that brown cube and try and figure out what it is.
Okay. It's very gelatinous. Like when you poke it, it's kind of translucent and gelatinous.
I look over at Skylar and go, I wish Tuck was here. He'd eat it.
Well, Shiro, what are you doing in this other dome then?
I'm going to walk to the door that we first came through to get into the dome and hope that it opens.
Yep, as soon as you walk up to it, it opens up.
Whoa! Hey!
The hell is taking you
That's
so
where
long?
you went. Looking for you.
You didn't think to look for the other door.
I didn't know. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay. Do you guys go back to the same dome that Skylar and Nearest are in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see them. Skylar is poking and prodding this gelatinous cube, and I don't know what Skylar's doing. I guess she's just watching him with her crossbow out. In case the cube comes alive.
Hey,
So what's this cube you're poking at there, Near?
I think it might be food. Do you want to try it?
What gives you the idea that it's food?
Well, it looks
What
like
about
that.
this brown cube screams food to you?
Well, it looks like
Now,
that stuff that comes out of your tube.
I'm going to squeeze some gray paste out of my tube and take a bite of it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your depletion for that.
Yep.
looks identical to your paste, except for more cubey.
More cubey.
More cubey.
Oh, that's close.
So, Tuck, do you want to try it? It looks good.
Okay. So I walk over there and just kind of like look at it really closely, sniff at it, poke at it a little bit, pick it up. How big is this cube? Is it like like a sugar cube size?
Yeah, it's kind of like a tiny little cube, exactly.
You just take like a little
carefully.
I just take a little nibble off of the corner of the cube.
As soon as you take a nibble of the cube, you instantly feel a little bit more full than you were before.
Oh, I swallowed the whole damn thing down.
Oh, you are very full at this point. And you know, how did it taste? Did it taste good? I'll let you decide. Everyone tastes things differently. It
tasted a little better than the gray paste. Have you guys had a taste of that yet? It's pretty good stuff. But yeah, it tasted very brown.
Brown.
I'm going to push the button again, see if it works.
Okay, well, it makes the same kind of noises, and the cube kind of spits out on the circular dish, and it just goes ping.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'm going to pocket that cube and put it in a pouch, and then I'm going to push the button again.
All right, it spits out another cube, and does the nice
Heck yeah.
ping.
I'm going to do it 5 times and pocket all 5 cubes.
Yep, you get all 5 cubes.
Hey, how big is this machine are we talking about? I mean, what is it?
You won't be able to carry it.
Oh, okay. Damn.
It's pretty
big. Can I roll a bite roll just in case?
Yeah, sure. You can roll.
Okay.
That'd be a level 10 difficulty if you want to. I mean, you could apply effort and you could potentially take it. It's not impossible. Just kind of haul this thing.
Do you want some of these cubes?
Sure.
Go ahead, press this button. Just press it.
Ping. How many? I assume everyone kind of wants some of these cubes. Well, no, Shiro doesn't. How many cubes does Skylar take?
I'll take 3.
Three cubes. Okay. Does Tuck take any cubes?
I will take 10 cubes, pal.
All right. So you guys kind of just put these cubes in your bags, I guess.
I want you to say it 10 times. Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Well, you guys have these little cubes. These cubes will act as one ration. So, since no one else wanted any cubes, and since I said that already, the last time Tuck presses the button, he kind of presses it an 11th time, and all this goop just kind of squirts out of the thing onto the floor, and it looks decisively broken.
Sorry, guys.
You broke it.
Sorry.
Now that the machine is broken, can we salvage anything from it?
I guess if you wanted like some scraps of metal and stuff like that, maybe someone in a town will trade that for shins or something. So
I would like to try to scavenge it for parts.
Okay, sure, yeah. This thing, it's pretty interesting looking. Like I said, you left your Allen wrenches at home, so this is going to be a level 5 difficulty. You're probably just going to end up smashing it apart or something like that.
So, I actually have repair tools. So, could it be possible that I would have a Allen wrench in with my pouch of repair tools? I've got a bag of light tools.
Yeah, I'll let you use that as an asset. You don't really have an Allen wrench, but you kind of get a screwdriver and a hammer, and you start jamming it in between the separations. So yeah, that can be an asset that'd move it down to a level 4 for you.
Yeah, why have an Allen wrench when you can just use a hammer and a screwdriver?
Exactly.
I'll help Tuck out as well if I can.
Do you have any like skills or anything? You can only help if you're trained or specialized in something.
Oh, good point. Not really, I guess. More like figuring things out, but not exactly as repair or whatever.
Okay. All right. So Tuck, you rolled a 6, I guess. And what did I say that was a 4? So you get your screwdriver in there and you start hammering at it. And this thing is very solidly built. It doesn't make any type of headway. It doesn't crack anything open, and it is still there. Still just squirting out goop all over the floor. Very slowly filling up the dome, but you don't think you're in any danger of drowning in this goop anytime soon. But maybe if people come across this door in 10 years, they're going to be swimming. And whenever you turn around, you're still in this dome, and straight ahead you can kind of see the pathway to the dome where you came from. If you look to your left, you can see a completely covered dome and a pathway to that. And to your right, you can see another dome. And then if you actually look where the dome you can see is, where you can see through it, there's actually a separated dome that doesn't seem to have any tunnels going to it at all.
I point to the separated dome and I look over at Skylar and like, that's probably where we want to go. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go to the covered dome. Maybe that'll have an entrance to the separated dome.
Okay. Well, you walk through the pathway. As soon as you go in the tunnel, it stops being translucent. It was never translucent, but it's covered. And when you get to the door of this dome, it doesn't open, and there's actually a little keypad, just like you saw on the outside when you were coming in the two-dimensional door. It looks exactly the same. The door doesn't open to you.
So the keypad has the identical symbols on it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try the same combination that I used to open the door on the way in.
Okay. Well, when you enter that combination in, it just goes, and then a color you've never seen before flashes on the circuit board, but the door doesn't open.
I don't think that was the right number.
No, I don't think that was it either. Okay, I'm going to look around carefully and see if there's any indication, for example, on the keypad of buttons haven't been pressed, other than the ones I just pressed, like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe scuff marks on it or, weird goopy fingerprints.
Goopy fingerprints. No, you don't really see anything like that at all.
Can
I wanna
we... Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I want to look and see if there's a way to take it apart and
Mm-hmm.
maybe kind of like hot wire it or something. Not that Chuck knows how to hot wire things, but at least maybe he can get some wires or something out of it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a difficulty level 6 thing, and then I'll let you move that down to a difficulty level of 5 because you have your tools if you want to take it apart.
Before Tuck does that, I'm going to stop him. And I'd like to do that because I have the ability to assess the function. And I figured that's kind of what this would be, is we're trying to figure out what it is before we can, hotwire it.
Yeah. Well, you easily assess the function. It appears to be a keypad to the door.
But, okay, go ahead and open it, and then I'll try and figure out what all the wires do. Assuming there's wires in it, or crystals, or beams of light, or... Okay, Tuck, go ahead and see if you can open it.
Yeah, this will be a level 5 because of your tools. And then if you want to apply effort or anything to it, then you can move it down to a 4 or something.
Yeah, I think I'll apply effort. Would that be might, I guess?
This is going to come
Because
out
I'm
of
just
your...
trying to finagle it and just trying to pry it open,
I'm going to say this comes out of your intellect pool because you're trying not to break it completely. Maybe
Okay.
you're being a little more careful than they used to be. Nearest is sitting there going, Tuck, be careful, right in your ear.
Don't break it.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to apply effort to it.
Okay, so that would be level 4 now.
God.
Well, as you're kind of fiddling with it, you notice that you find yourself more experienced in life with 1 extra experience point, and then you can give an experience point to someone else as just a huge spark flies from this thing, and you get pushed completely back to the other dome and take 3 points of might damage. And if you have any hair, it's now like you know.
So Eve, you need to redraw my character now with the hair standing up.
I think that can be done, actually.
And nearest, when you look at the pad, maybe you yell some curses at Tuck, but the pad itself doesn't actually look damaged at all. It kind of does that and has that weird color on it again that you've never seen.
What is
Hey,
that?
Yuki. Do you think you could pry this thing open?
Who's Yuki?
Shiro, sorry.
Pry it open. I mean, I could try.
Trying is good, as long as you don't break it.
I'm gonna try. I'll
Alright.
take a.
Are you trying to pry the door open, or are you trying to pry the keypad open?
I'm guessing the keypad.
Okay. This will be the same thing for you, difficulty level of 6. Do you have anything that would help you in this?
I also have light tools.
Okay, so that'd be a 5, and you can apply effort if you'd like.
I will. And you said that was out of.
That'll be out of intellect.
Okay.
You're next, Skylar. You are next.
So that would be A4, right?
That'd be a 4.
I didn't get it.
All right. Who did Tuck? Who did you give your XP to?
I forgot that you told me I had.
He obviously doesn't want experience. He just completely forgot.
I'm enjoying the
That's
game
how-
too much, Tal. I don't need XP.
I'm happy being tier 1 my whole life. Everyone else is tier 6, and Tuck is walking around as tier 1. Happy as can be. Who do you want to give yours to?
I'll give it to nearest.
Okay. And unfortunately, the same thing happens to Shiro. So you get an XP and you get and give it to someone, but you get blown back. This time, instead of against into the next dome, it kind of blasts you against the wall, and you bang your head against the wall there. And you take 3 points of might damage as well. And that's ambient damage, so your armor wouldn't negate that at all.
Of course. I'll give my 1 XP to Skylar.
If you're about to give it to Nearest, I was going to be like, why is everyone giving the guy?
Actually,
Okay. So
is it too late to change that to nearest?
that's. Do you want to? I mean, you'll upset.
I'm going to give
Soul,
it
I
to
think.
nearest.
Okay. So Nearest has now gotten 2 experience from technically damaging both of his comrades there.
I like this, so now I know how to get XP.
Now it does the same thing. It goes, and the color flashes.
I'm going to look over at Skylar. I'll look at the keypad. Look at Skylar. Look at the keypad. Look at Skylar.
I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know. No. We need to find another.
I would like to look around the room. Maybe there's something that could give away if there's like a password anywhere, like on the ground or somewhere. I don't know. Like as
Look at that! The code is on the ground. What do you know? Didn't know.
They have like pictures of stuff in a line.
This is obviously not a very secure facility. You look on the ground looking for the password, and you don't.
It's back in my head. Okay, I was trying to figure.
You don't find anything. The tunnel's not terribly wide. Maybe 2 of you can stand side by side uncomfortably. But there's not really a whole lot of movement room in here, so not really a lot of places something could hide.
Is that little drone thing following us still?
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to look at it for a bit and see, has it done anything while has it changed its position, or is it acting erratically or anything, or is it just, hovering?
No, it's just kind of hovering and following you around.
Is it in reach now? Is like the corridor lower?
Yeah, it's
ceilings?
definitely in reach.
I'm going to glance at Skylar again.
As Tuck reaches up and
Glance at
tries
the
to
drone.
as Tuck
I'm gonna
reaches
grab
up
it.
and tries to grab it, just because it kind of zooms away.
So I start chasing it. Come here! Come here! Come here!
Well, you've managed to chase it all the way back to the first dome, and it's managed to stay. It's almost like premonition, like just kind of dodging you anytime you kind of jump and leap at it.
Well, While Tuck does that, I'm going to glance back at Skylar and go, okay, let's look at the other dome. Maybe we can find something that'll open this door.
I don't feel like getting hurt in the head again.
Well, I mean, those are the risks we take, right?
Well, yeah, after seeing 2 of them fly across the... No, that's okay.
But there's only the one left. Just you could try it.
I don't like my odds.
Okay, go back to the room with the machine,
Okay.
and I want to do a thorough search of it, like behind the
Too.
machine, around the furniture. You know,
Yeah.
if there's any covers on the chairs, rip those up.
I guess if I go to Soul's house and try to find her passwords, I'll find them on the floor. If I go to Eve's house, I'll find them like in his cushions or something like that. You guys don't really.
Yeah.
The chairs themselves are made out of some type of synth you've never recognized. They don't really have cushions at all. And as you look around the room, part of the room is now flooded with this brown sludge over by the machine. And you don't really see anything else in this area that could help you with that door. There's not really anything else that sticks out to you.
All right, going to continue on to the next dome, the clear dome.
Okay, so the one directly in front of you. What is Tuck doing at this point?
Yeah, he's kind of gotten bored because the thing is out of his reach and he can't catch it. So he's going back to, and yeah, he was going to actually recommend to Nier to maybe we should go another path and see what we can find.
Well, the drone has kind of followed you along the tunnel as well.
So I'm going to
While we're in
constantly
the tunnel,
keep an
just
eye
before-
on it to see if I can
while
catch it at its
Tuck is doing
peak
that.
moment.
I want to use turn on my visor, and I'm going to try and grab it before it darts out of the way.
Okay, sure. Yeah. What's your visor?
The visor is that artifact that gives me that like split-second premonition.
Oh, yeah, sure. So go ahead and roll the depletion on that. Okay. And I will say this is going to be a difficulty of 7 trying to catch this thing, and it moves down to 6 with your visor. This thing's fast.
And I assume it'd probably be a speed roll.
Yes.
I'd like be intelligence, but speed, huh? Okay.
So did you want to apply effort to that? That'd bring it down to a 5? I mean, you're rolling
Yeah,
against
just
an 18 right now, so you'd have to roll against a 15 with an effort.
No. I'm going to apply 2 effort, which will take up, I think, 5 speed, right? Because I normally have an edge, but I don't have an edge, so that'd be 3 and 2, right?
What do you mean you normally
2
have
points,
an
yeah.
edge?
Well, I always roll intelligence, right?
Oh,
So
do you have an edge in speed?
No, so that's why it's confusing me.
Oh, yeah.
But-
So it'd be 3 and effort. Yeah, 3 and 2, I believe it is. So it'd be
Okay,
5
yeah,
total.
I'll do that. I'll bring it down to 2.
Okay.
So rolling for 4, right?
7, 6, 5, 4. Yes.
Okay. Wish me luck. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Well, you manage, you kind of, as it's following Tuck around, you kind of sneak cat-like behind it, and you have your visor on, and you can kind of see where it's going to go, and you put your hand up and happen to catch it in your hand right as it goes, and it's fighting you. You don't know how long you're going to be able to hold on to it, but it's like
Tuck, grab this. Grab this. Tuck.
Give it to me! So I grab it from nearest.
Okay. Well, you're holding on to this thing.
Okay, while he's holding on to it, I want to see if I can figure out what the heck it is.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll. This is going to be an intellect check. Since it's moving around, I'll say it's a difficulty level of 5 to start out with.
Okay, I'm going to use 2 effort.
Okay. So that'd be 4 total, since you have an edge.
Correct. 2 edge, so 3 total.
Okay. All right. Well, you're examining it very closely as Tuck's kind of. I mean, it's moving Tuck around. It even lifts him off his feet for a split second. but you can't seem to make heads or tails of what this weird thing is. And as soon as you kind of finish your examination as much as you can, it lifts Tuck up, and his hands like slip off it, and it flies back up into the air.
Tuck, how could you let go?
Why didn't you figure out what it was while I had it?
No, you let go before I could. All right, let's go into this chamber. And does that thing follow us?
It does. It does.
So annoying.
All right.
Well, you guys walk into the next. So you go from the food room to this next dome that you see, and when you go down this tunnel, there is a door at the end. But as you approach the door, it opens up with the whoosh, and you walk into this room. It's completely transparent, like all the other rooms. But what's different about this room is that there's strange writing on the dome that seems to be constantly changing and shifting. And you can't really make heads or tails of it. It's that same writing that was on the keypad, but obviously there's more of it. Maybe their full alphabet and numerical system if they have one. And in this room, you see kind of a circular irisy looking door that's kind of positioned to the non-connected dome. You can see that in the background past this dome straight ahead. And along the wall there, you just see some sets of weird looking tanks, like not battle tanks, but like a
Damn, Tuck was gonna get him a battle tank.
Yeah, as soon as I said tank and I saw y'all's eyes on him, I was like, it's not a battle tank. It's just a tank that you could maybe hold on your back or something.
Tuck wants a tank.
So we'll get a boat and a tank for the party eventually.
Airship now.
An airship and a tank. An air tank. Okay.
So Tuck's gonna go over to where the tanks are,
and yeah, and you also see another door on the other side of y'all that is open and that has a regular sliding door.
So
Left or right?
I go over there and just start like tapping on the tank. Is it filled with a liquid? Is there like fluid in there or anything, or is it just a clear glass container?
Well, you can't tell, but when you tap on the tank, it doesn't really make any noise at all. And you were asking where the door was. This is the same kind of thing. If the first room you were in was like a Y intersection, this would be the opposite. So it would be like that. And the kind of irisy looking door is towards the other area.
Okay.
While Tuck is doing this, I want to be studying or watching those symbols and see if I can figure out like a pattern or if I can start making sense of them in any kind of way, especially considering how the keypads were. Mm-hmm. Like, can I make a connection as to have I seen symbols and are they in a sequence or anything along those lines? Just see if I can figure out something about their language.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we can do that. That'll be that's going to be a level 7 task. You're going with no kind of prior knowledge or anything to this. And while you're kind of studying that and doing your role, do you want to apply anything to that?
Yeah, I'm going to apply 2 effort.
Okay, that'll bring it down to a 5.
Can I use one of my books in Numenera as an asset? Probably not, but I'm just throwing it out there.
You look through your book of Numenera, but you don't really see any of this stuff. It doesn't seem like anyone's ever come across this before that you know of.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. All right, so you just rolled a 13 then? Well, you can't really decipher heads or tails of what's going on. You do see common symbols between the keypad and what's going on. You see they kind of flash real quick before they change into something else. What you do notice is that you see those 2 symbols, they appear to be like counting up or counting down, but they seem to be going in some type of sequential order of some kind. But you can't really figure out what's going on. And as you're doing that, 3 more of these kind of drones come from the hallways, and they just kind of hover above all of you.
I start like swatting at them like flies. Get away! Get away from me!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so high above you. You're swatting them, but you can't really reach them. They're not really in your face at all. They're kind of above you, kind of circling. They don't really have a formation or anything.
What do you want?
They don't say anything back.
Tanks have any visible marks on them either? Like, do they have anything of interest?
They don't have any marks or anything. Since you're kind of looking at them pretty close, go ahead and roll a level 2 difficulty for figuring stuff out. And then you'll bring that down to a 1 because you're skilled in Numenera.
Got an 8.
Rolled an 8.
Awesome.
I'm not hearing this.
So you look at these things and you kind of analyze them. Maybe it takes you 15 minutes. The others may be looking at the things flying above. Tuck maybe swatting them for that whole 15 minutes or whatever. But after a while, you notice that they're connected to some type of face mask. And when you put the mask on your mouth, the air seems to be more pure than maybe you were breathing, but when it was off.
So how many tanks are there?
There's 5.
Like, is it just the one? 5. And does each tank have a mask?
Yes.
So how big are these tanks? I thought they were like big containers.
I thought they were huge tanks as well.
Oh no!
Tanks.
They're little. They're tanks. They're tanks you could like strap on your back.
Okay.
Well, how cool is that? All right. Well, I'm going to tell my companions that they seem to allow us to breathe easier through the mask. So I'm going to. They have straps, right? You were saying?
Yeah, you can strap them to your back.
Yeah, I'm going to strap one to my back and shift my backpack to the side so that it fits.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
You guys should do the same, and we might need them.
Okay.
I'm not going to use it yet.
Okay, so all of you kind of grab one of these tanks. Okay. These are going to count as a cipher. They're called O2 storage units, is what Nearest has dubbed them. And they allow the user to breathe in an oxygen-less environment for up to an hour.
I would dub them breathe easies.
All right, they're called breathe easies. So all of you kind of have these tanks kind of strapped to you now. Does anyone want to carry the extra tank or?
I'll carry it.
Okay, so you're going to carry 2 tanks. So you would be carrying a total of probably 4 ciphers at this point. And we don't roll on. Well, we don't roll on this until the beginning of the day. So if you like throw them away or something like that, maybe you'll be okay.
Okay, so, going to approach the eye.
The iris door? Okay. Well, as soon as you approach the iris door, like a holographic symbol kind of appears in front of you. It starts spouting out some of that language. Then it starts has some type of language, then a slash and something else there, and the left one is blinking. Then I
put my mask on.
Okay. the left one is blinking. Then after a while, it just kind of solidifies. Then the whole thing kind of wipes away. And the next thing you hear is a second set of doors from the 2 entrances to this room kind of close. They slam shut, and you can see kind of a locking mechanism twirl on it. Then you just hear a psss. And
good call.
I'm going to put my mask on.
You guys do notice it starts to become a little bit harder to breathe, and it just goes psss. Then after about maybe 10 minutes, if someone doesn't have your mask on, you notice you can't breathe at all. So you should probably put your mask on. Does anyone not have their mask on? Okay. And then after a while, you notice the door just kind of really fast, just swirls open. And you now have access to the outside.
I'll step through.
Okay. As soon as you step through, I assume none of you have any experience in a 0G environment. So as soon as Tuck steps through, he kind of trips over like a rock or something, but he doesn't really fall on his face like he expects. He kind of falls forward and just starts to kind of twirl in air before finding before, it's not a gravityless environment, but it's definitely lighter than the ninth world would be. So it kind of flips a few times and lands kind of face down on the dirt very, very lightly.
Well, watching Tuck or seeing Tuck do this, I'm going to go out carefully, hopefully expecting the shift in gravity, although I don't know what to expect, so I probably do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tie like my rope around me and then tie it to something by the door.
Yeah, sure. You kind of tie it to one of the things that were holding the tanks up.
Yeah, I want to do that, and then I'll step through the door, so at least this way.
Okay.
I can't my way.
Does everyone go through the door?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Okay.
go with that.
So everyone's kind of outside at this point. And as you walk, you're kind of moonwalking, as it were, going through the air. And as soon as you get kind of far enough away from the door kind of swirls shut and Soul's rope gets cut. And you guys are outside.
Go towards the middle dome.
I'm going to pull my rope back into what's left of it.
Okay.
And as we do that, is there anything of interest out here? Like, we saw some blue rocks, but is there anything else?
Soul, take 5 feet of rope off your rope. That's how much you have left. No, you notice that as you walk on this blue rock type thing, it actually doesn't leave footprints anywhere. You don't hear any sounds. So if one of you were to talk to each other, you maybe wouldn't hear it, but maybe you guys don't know you're trying to talk to each other, and maybe you're talking and getting frustrated that no one's replying back to you. And you don't really see anything of interest. You can see a lot more clear than through the domes. It seems like the dome was kind of colorizing it a little bit, but instead of a pale blue, it is now a kind of a bright blue rock that you see everywhere. And again, you see the dome in the background. That seems to be a solid dome. You can't really see through it at all. And you see the dome behind you.
Are there any hand-sized pieces of rock that I can grab as we go along?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you wanna grab a few of those? All right.
One of them. Yeah, just one.
All right. You now have a strange blue rock in your bag.
Are the drones still following us?
They are.
Okay.
They don't seem to need any oxygen at all.
So I stand up and just kind of start jumping up and down in this cool weightless environment, and
Mm-hmm.
this is fun, guys.
No one hears you.
Keep going towards the other dome.
Okay. So you're just do you signal back to them, or do you just start walking towards it after grabbing your blue rock?
Just walk. I figure they'll follow or not. I mean, chances are they'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Kinda
following.
keep jumping up and down.
Okay. Well, you start walking towards the other dome, and when you get there, it's the same little iris kind of door. It takes you about 10 minutes to walk, so you've spent about 20 minutes of your oxygen time walking over there, and same thing happens whenever you get there. The screen kind of appears in front of, I assume, nearest gets to the door first, and it has that same little language, and it's blinking on the left side. Then after a while it solidifies and everything washes away, and it just whoosh, opens up again.
So while it's happening, I want to pay extra close attention to see if they're identical symbols that were happening at the other one.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. And do those symbols match up to any of the symbols on the keypads?
No.
Okay. No, worth a shot. In we go. At least in I go.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think Tuck should go first, but I'm too excited, so I'm going to go and just kind of rush it.
I'm right behind.
Go!
I'm right behind nearest.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see them going in, and I just kind of do the moon, bunny hop
Mm-hmm.
over there to them.
Okay. You kind of misjudge your jumping as you try to go in the door, and you happen to hit your head as you come in to the as you come into the room. I'm sorry, it's just too good. You take you take 1 point of might damage, and you can have another GM intervention there, so you get another XP, and you can give that to someone. It's just too convenient having you do these things.
While Tuck is doing that, I'd like
I'm
to
racking
take
up the XP, guys. Y'all should be thanking me. I'm
That's
giving you guys
This is very
XP.
true.
So
I'll
I'm
do
gonna
a
give
recovery
mine.
roll while he does that.
Okay. So that would be your one
Oh
action.
wait, hold up. Before I do that, did our recovery rolls reset from the last time we used them?
You guys haven't slept since then, so no.
Okay, in that case, if I'm at the 1 hour recovery roll, does that mean I have to wait 1 hour to get the roll, or is it? Yeah, it must be right because it takes an hour to get the recovery back.
It takes an hour to recover, yeah.
Okay, forget the recovery roll then.
And
This'll be fun.
are you guys okay on health? I guess I didn't check that.
Fine.
Okay. I don't want to do so many GM interventions that I accidentally kill Tuck. You got an XP, but now your character's dead. I'm sorry.
Well, he'd be disabled first, right? So I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay, I think, right now.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you guys walk through this door, and the iris, as soon as all four of you walk through it, the iris kind of closes with the whoosh. And then you just hear the psss again, and you can feel kind of wind going across your face because none of you really had masks on. You just had the kind of the breather devices on. And you just feel the wind across your face. And at this point, what you notice as well are the 4 security drones that were, I say security drones because they look like security drones in my mind. The 4 drones that were swirling above you are now just swirling in the middle of the room at this point, going really, really fast.
I'm going to remove my mask.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't kill me.
Yeah, you remove it kind of early, but it's a little bit hard to breathe as soon as you take it off, but it's getting easier and easier to breathe as you still hear the psss. And then you guys feel yourselves getting heavier.
What are the drones circling? Anything in particular?
Nothing that you noticed right now. You might notice something after the break. So we're gonna take 5 minutes here. Take a quick little breather, and I have it prepared. I'm not saying I don't have it prepared. Before anyone comes to any conclusions, this is all I got done today. I mean, these 4 rooms. So let me go make the rest of the 3 hours of our campaign. No, so we're gonna take a 5-minute break here, break things up for YouTube, and then we'll be back. Sound good? All right. See y'all in